It must be verified that patent rights are alive and legally enforceable. Companies Act 1956, each and every organization have to maintain a fixed asset register, and verification and valuation of trademarks will be same as verification and valuation of patent. As per the provision of the same section, all fixed assets are required to be physically verified. Hello everyone, I am Arshita, lecturer, Department of Commerce, Vidyashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysore. Today we are in the fourth session of Unit 5, that is verification and valuation. And my dear students, we were discussing about verification and valuation of different assets and liabilities. Let us quickly recall what we have discussed in a previous session. So in a previous session, we have discussed about verification and valuation of assets. So where we have discussed about stock in trade. So how we are going to verify and value stock in trade. And next we have discussed about investment. So investment is also one of the assets. So how we are going to verify and value investment. Next we have learnt about verification and valuation of goodwill. So these are the few concepts what we have discussed in a previous session, that is relating to verification and valuation of goodwill, investment as well as stock in trade. In today's session, we shall continue with that. So let us see what we are going to discuss today. So in today's session, we have going to discuss about verification and valuation of patents and trademarks. Now, what do you mean by patents? Suppose if an organization or a company have invented a new thing and that thing cannot be copied by another person if it goes for patents. So patents, in the sense, patents will be made so when a product has been invented or when a new invention takes place. So in order to not to copy by another organization, so this patents will be done. Then what about trademarks? So trademarks is relating to a particular brand or particular logo where they cannot be copied by another person or another organization. Now let us see how we are going to verify or how an auditor is going to verify and value these patents and trademarks. And this is also called as intangible assets. So these patents like goodwill, so these patents and trademark is also called as intangible asset where we cannot see as well as we cannot touch. We can only feel that rights. So that is known as what? Verification and valuation of patents and trademarks. Let us see how we are going to verify that. So the ownership of the patent rights, for example, the organization is verified by the inspection of certificate issued by the grant of patent by the presented authority or prescribed authority. So certain or there is a prescribed authority where they are going to issue this patents. Now, what the auditor has to do, if the organization is having a patent, then he has to see through that whether that certificate is given by a prescribed authority or not. Suppose a fake certificate cannot be act as a patent. So, there should be a proper certificate which has been given by the prescribed authority. So, that the auditor has to check. So, if the organization is having a patent, then he has to see through that whether that patent is issued by a prescribed authority or not. So, if it has been purchased, so there will be a chance where they can create their own patent or after a particular period of time they can purchase that patent from other organization. Suppose if the organization have been purchased the patent, the agreement surrendering in favor of the client should be examined. So that agreement for which they have purchased the patent, so that agreement has to be examined by the auditor. Suppose it is created, then he has to check the certificate which is given by the prescribed authority. Suppose they have purchased the patent, then he has to see the agreement of purchasing of patent. And the next is, if there are number of patents held by the client, that is client is nothing but the organization where the auditor is going for auditing work, obtain a schedule giving the full details thereof to verify with reference to the register maintained by the client. Suppose if there are number of patents, then the auditor has to see the register of that patents. So whether it is properly authorized or not, or whether it is having a proper document or not. And the next is, it must be verified that patent rights are alive and legally enforceable. Of course, that patent right should be in force, right? So it must be verified that whether that patent is in alive as well as whether it is legally enforceable, and renewal fees have been paid on due date and charged to the revenue account. Now, suppose they have purchased an asset and the duration is over, so they have to renew the asset on a due date. Now the auditor has to see through that whether that patent is in force now or not, whether it is in live or not, as well as whether it is legally enforceable and renewal fees has been paid properly, and it has to be recorded in the revenue account. The last renewal receipt should be examined to ascertain that the patent has not lapsed. So if the patents are going to renew again and again, so it controls from lapsing of patents, lapsing of right of using that patent. So in such cases, the auditor has to see the last renewal receipt. So he will make sure that the patent is in live and it is going to continue in an organization and the patent has not lapsed. And the next is, see that the patents are properly registered in the name of the client only. Of course, it is very essential. So they have patent in an organization, but the auditor has to see through that whether it has registered in the name of client only. And the next one is, see that the cost of the patent is being written off over its useful period of life. Suppose a patent has been purchased for 10 years. So during that 10 years, so whether the cost of the patent is properly written off or not. So the last point is that, so see that the cost of the patent is written off. So I have already told you, so if it is for 10 years, so within that 10 years, the cost of the patent have been properly written off or not. So that is the duty of an auditor to verify as well as value the patent. And the next one is, in case the patent is acquired, cost paid for the same and all other relevant expenses are to be capitalized. So in case the patent is acquired, so the auditor has to see through that the cost has been paid for same and the relevant expenses are met by the client. So when an patent is acquired, so cost of the patent as well as the expenses which is incurred for that patent, so that has to be borne by the client itself. So if the patent is created by the client by the research experiments and laboratory work, only the actual expenses incurred for it in the process to be capitalized. So suppose I have told you there are two ways where an organization can acquire patent. One, they can create their own patent or else they can purchase a patent. Suppose if the organization have created their own patent by research equipments as well as laboratory work, then the total expenses which is incurred for that activity, so that has to be capitalized. Next, we shall see how we are going to verify and value the copyrights. So copyrights is relating to the writings. It may be a book or any other papers. So that is known as copyright. Now let us see how an auditor has to verify as well as value the copyright. And verification and valuation of trademarks will be same as verification and valuation of patents. Now let us see how we are going to verify the copyrights. So the auditor has to examine the written agreement. So the auditor has to see the written agreement of assignment along with the royalty paid to the author. So I have told you it is relating to the written aspects, right? So here the auditor has to examine the written agreement of assignment along with the royalty paid to the authors, etc. for such copyright. So copyrights will be given to the authors who have invented or who have created their own scripts. So that is known as what? Copyright. Here they have to, or the auditor has to see the written agreement with the author. Next, he has to see that such assignment are properly registered. Of course, the assignment what they have created by the author, so that has to be properly registered. Next, if the client is the owner of many copyrights, so if the client or if the organization is the owner of many copyrights, in such cases, the auditor should ask the client to prepare the schedule of copyrights. So I have already discussed about patents as well as trademarks. So if the organization is having more number of patents as well as trademarks, in such cases, it has to ask for a schedule of that is schedule of trademark as well as copyrights. So here also trademark as well as patents. So here also he has to ask for schedule of copyright if he has more number of copyrights and get the detailed information to confirm that the same is shown in the balance sheet. So copyright is also one of the intangible asset which will be shown in the asset side of the balance sheet. Regarding the value of copyright, it should be remembered that this asset has no value in the long run, hence value is determined on the revaluation basis and period of copyright. Suppose if the period of copyright is over, then the asset has to be revalued. Then that particular asset has to be revalued in order to know what is the current value of copyright. If any copyright doesn't command the sale of any books, then the same should be written off in such year. Suppose if any copyright is not having any value, or if any asset is not which has been copyright or which is having copyright does not have any value, so that kind of asset has to be written off in that particular year. The auditor has to verify the same in detail. So if the asset which is not having any value, so that has to be written off, and the auditor has to verify that whether that asset has been written off or not. Now we shall discuss verification and valuation of plant and machinery. So my dear students, plant and machinery is one of the important fixed asset which is there in the organization, and that will be recorded in the balance sheet at the end of the financial year. Now let us see how an auditor has to audit or how an auditor has to verify and value this plant and machinery of an organization. So if you see the first point, nowadays as per the provision of section 227(4)(a) of the Companies Act 1956. Now the recent Companies Act is 2013. Every company is required to maintain a fixed asset register. So in order to record all the fixed asset, so they have to maintain a fixed asset register where all the details about the fixed asset will be recorded in that register, showing full particulars including cost, location, depreciation, details of purchase, expenses capitalized, etc. So, as I told you, as per Companies Act 2013 or Companies Act 1956, each and every organization have to maintain a fixed asset register. Now, plant and machinery is a fixed asset, so it has to be registered or it has to be recorded in fixed asset register where it contains all the details about that particular asset. So, it may be cost of the asset, depreciation, purchase of new asset or any other expenses which is incurred on that asset. So, every details has to be recorded in that register. Therefore, an auditor should ask for such a register maintained by the client. Now, what the auditor will do? Instead of recording each and every entry, so he will directly ask for fixed asset register by the client and see that all the items relating to plant and machinery are properly recorded in that register. Now we are going to discuss about verification and valuation of plant and machinery, where an auditor will directly ask the fixed asset register and verify each and every transaction relating to plant and machinery. Now moving on to the second point, as per the provision of the same section, all fixed assets are required to be physically verified. Of course, it is very essential. So verification is nothing but what? Physical verification of assets and liability. So whatever the items which are there in the fixed register, so that has to be physically verified by an auditor. Therefore, auditor should inquire whether such physical verification was undertaken or not. So, if the auditor is not going to directly verify the fixed asset, in such cases, the concerned authority will verify the assets and liabilities, and that information has to be given to the auditor. So if S, if the organization have physically verified the asset, if S, he should ask the necessary papers pertaining to the same. So if the organization have physically verified or the concerned authority have physically verified, in such cases, the auditor has a right to take the necessary papers relating to physical verification of this plant and machinery. Next, any new purchase. Suppose if any new purchase of plant and machinery that have taken place in an organization, he has to verify the reference to purchase invoice. Of course, when they purchase a new plant and machinery, they will get the purchase invoice and other papers regarding the installation of the same. So what the auditor has to do? Auditor has to verify the purchase invoice, along with that if any other papers which is relating to the installation of plant and machinery. So that has to be verified by an auditor. Now moving on to the next point. Total value of plant and machinery as shown by the fixed asset register should tally with the ledger account. So they will maintain a ledger account. For plant and machinery, they will maintain plant and machinery account. So whatever the amount which is recorded in plant and machinery account should tally with the fixed asset register. So for each and every fixed asset, they will maintain a fixed asset register. So that amount should tally with plant and machinery account. That is, the amount in the fixed asset register regarding plant and machinery should tally with the plant and machinery account which is maintained as a ledger account. Where any item of plant and machinery is sold, suppose if any plant and machinery is sold, then scrapped or transferred, the auditor should check the relevant entries. So when the plant and machinery is sold, they will get the scrap value or salvage value. In the sense, at the end of the life of the asset, so if the plant and machinery are sold, so they will get a value which is known as scrap value or salvage value. In such cases, so if any part of plant and machinery is sold, in such cases, scrapped or transferred, the auditor should check the relevant entry for the same and verify they are removed from the fixed asset register. So once the asset are sold, so of course when an asset is purchased, so it has to be immediately recorded in fixed asset register. In the same way, if the assets are sold, then it has to be removed from this register. And the next one is, the auditor should verify the adequate depreciation is provided. So here, since it is a fixed asset, for each and every year, they have to charge the depreciation. And depreciation can be calculated in any of the method. So it may be straight line method or written down value method. So here what the auditor has to do? Auditor has to make sure that so whether the organization is calculating depreciation each and every year, and if so, they are calculating what method of depreciation they are following. So that has to be verified by an auditor. And the next one is, auditor should see that entire plant and machinery stand in the name of the client. Of course, it is very essential to see that whether that plant and machinery is in the name of client or organization. So here, suppose a plant and machinery of some other organization might be kept in the organization, right? In such cases, so there should be a documentary evidence with relation to the ownership of that plant and machinery. So an auditor should see through that whether that plant and machinery is in the name of client itself, that is the organization itself, and are free from any of the charge. So there should not be any charge which is attached to that machinery. So the auditor has to see or verify whether any charge is attached to that machinery or not. If plant and machinery is mortgaged, suppose if the plant and machinery has been mortgaged, then it has to verify the documents of mortgage. So if plant and machinery are mortgaged in an organization, it has to verify the plant and machinery, that the documents relating to mortgage machinery, documents are properly executed and mention of mortgage is made in the balance sheet. So in the balance sheet, they have to record, they can't record the actual value of the machinery, because since the machinery have been mortgaged, so in such cases, the auditor has to see through that such mortgage machinery have been properly recorded in balance sheet. That is, they have to make a note that this plant and machinery have been mortgaged in an organization. In my next session, I am going to continue with the same concept, that is verification and valuation of assets and liability. Let us see few more assets and liability. Let us see how we are going to verify that assets and liability. So my dear students, in today's session, we have learnt about verification of few assets. In my next session, I am going to continue with new topic. See you all in my next session. Till then, take care. Thank you.